Hey, what's up YouTube, and welcome back to our continuous coverage of Guild Ball. Today's match is going to feature Aaron's Fishermen, hot off their win versus the Masons, taking on my Blacksmiths. So you can see I'm kicking off with my captain here, Ferrite. She's going to be in there with Ferris and Hearth as the masters, along with Alloy, Iron, and Bolt as the apprentices. Taking on Aaron's Fish, led by Shark, Salt, Sakana, Grayscales, Siren, and Jack. So very strong fish team against kind of an all-scoring Blacksmiths lineup. So you can see there goes the kick. You can't see it on screen. It's because I kicked it so far down that sideline. A very crazy scatter. Awesome kick for myself. It's exactly what I wanted. Jack is going to run up there, and he can't get to the ball, which is going to be frustrating for Aaron. He's going to call Salt up there to back him up. My first activation is going to be Ferrite, and I'm going to feat immediately. So giving everyone on my team except for Hearth +2/+2 move and a hobble, which is great. Ferrite's going to then sprint up to the ball. She's going to call Iron up 6 inches, and then she's going to have to use Acrobatic to snap the ball and basically end up there at the top of the sideline. So this is an interesting play because I've forced all of the action down that sideline to where I can get it, and this is one of those rare moments where the fish cannot get to the ball. So and now Salt can get to the ball, but with Ferrite picking it up, her being 3/2 armor, Salt can't do anything about that. So Aaron's going to bring Siren to midfield here. He's going to go ahead and call Iron over and throw a couple of attacks on Iron. Just kind of shift him around a little bit while that's going. I'm trying to figure out, okay, let's move Hearth up there, and we're going to set up Alloy here for a big play, so she's going to drop Instruction on Alloy. So now Aaron's trying to figure out what can he do with Iron being there in the middle. He's going to charge with Grayscales, and he's going to Momentous, where'd he go? Slide Grayscales that way, do another attack, and score another Momentous dodge there. So now I've got Alloy with this crazy jog of it's like a 9 jog. I'm going to run him up. He's going to take a 2-inch melee from Hearth and then head towards the center of the field there and throw some dice with Instruction against Siren. So she's def 5, but I'm coming in with that Instruction, 2 automatic successes. So I really only needed to do 1 to do what I really want to do, and that is I'm going to project Dirty Knives over to Shark. Now this is great because not only is it Dirty Knives, so -1 defense and poison, this is feet turn, so that's going to cause hobble as well on Shark. So now I've got Shark at -2/2 move, poison, and -1 defense. I'm going to try it again and fail. Instead, I'm just going to go ahead and just take a dodge there and not be able to. I wanted to throw it on Sakana as well, or on Siren, even better. That's not going to work either. Alright, so meanwhile, now Shark is going to go because he can't get to the ball through normal means, but he's still Shark. Let's not forget that. He does have a big old stack of influence there. He's going to try to go for Alloy, who has back to the shadows up towards the top of the screen there, and he can't use his full range because he's -2/2. But even at -2/2, he can still charge Alloy. So you see him reducing the tape measure there. Still gets within range, launches his charge attack, and big old spikes for Aaron here. Aaron's dice were hot early, so he scores a Momentous Tidal Wave, which is exactly what he wanted, because that's going to get him 4 inches closer to the ball. This is just a testament to how deadly this guy is. Even after you slow him down, even after you corner one side of the board, he's going to take another dodge off of Alloy there, get into melee with Ferrite and tackle the ball off Ferrite. That's crazy. Then he's going to pass that ball back to Salt. And he does something really interesting here. So he's going to pass the ball back to Salt, and he's going to take a dodge. And instead of dodging backwards with Salt and burying that ball, he's going to dodge Shark forward, which I absolutely love. That's the spirit. Don't play this kill the ball. This is a shootout, man. This is 3-0. We need to score goals here. And so he puts Shark in a forward position, actually, to be able to threaten Ferrite up the field, maybe even like walk her off the pitch, which is awesome. I just thought that was such a cool move. So now I'm looking to get around. It looks like I'm probably going to throw Ferris around to this point. Right? It looks like at least I was thinking about it. I might have walked that move back. No, I am going to head over. Oh. Looks like I'm going to take Iron then and leave combat with Angel and Grayscales. They're going to both score 1 damage each to me, and I'm going to charge Salt, who has the ball. I'm going to tackle the ball from Salt. Then I'm going to attack him one more time. And this time I'm going to do a non-momentous double push, just kind of get Salt out of the way there. So that's going to move Salt 2 inches away. But Aaron's just going to undo all that on Salt's activation. Now Salt can't get Iron either because of the 2-2 armor, and not to mention close control. So he's just going to decide to troll Iron, which is a smart move anyway. Say if you can't do anything with him right now, let's put a model in his face, hopefully try to get a crowd out. He wants to know if Sakana can get into range there. Unfortunately, he can't. That's how strong the kick was. Like, that kick really forced all the action that way. This may come back to bite me, though, in later turns. We'll see. So now it looks like I'm trying to figure out, can I get across the board with Ferris? It doesn't look like that is the case with Grayscale sitting there. I mean, I could try to feet and push him out of the way, or charge and push him out of the way, but that's just not going to happen. Instead, I'm going to take Ferris and just sort of sprint her up that way towards Shark. I'm going to take an attack on Shark. I think all I do is like just score I think we just score a couple of pushes on him, but nothing too big there. All right. So now Sakana, nowhere really to go. He's just gonna sprint up there and call it a turn. And the only guy I've got left is Bolt. So here's Bolt's first jog up the sideline, and then he's gonna get right behind Iron. He's gonna pull a free I'm open. Now Iron's only kicking on 1 die, but hey, YOLO. I go ahead and hit that, and now Bolt is going to end the turn with the ball. Okay, so now we've got a really interesting situation into the second turn, because all of those models are on the side of the board, and we've got some key models that can push. Iron can push with Battering Ram, and he's got a double push on 1 success. Obviously, Jack is up in that area. Jack can heroic and force me off a sideline. That's a very scary play, and I've got to deal with Shark, because if I don't deal with Shark right out of the gate here, I'm looking at Shark's feet, and that's just gonna be absolutely brutal. That's just gonna be a horrible thing to deal with. I do win initiative here, and what I have to do with Iron after much deliberation here is I have to Impetuous, then Sprint to push Salt away, to push Jack away slightly, and I've got to attack Shark with a crowd out. So I push Shark 2 inches towards the sideline. And if I hit this, if I actually hit the 2 4s here, Shark is off the board. And that's a big swing. Shark is going to counter. I miss. I score nothing. Don't get him off. Shark is going to go ahead and take a dodge off the counter. And then Shark is going to go. Because Shark that scared him, but he better feet while he's got the chance. He's going to take a bunch of dodges to get out of that mess there with ferrite, ferrous, and iron kind of looming around that area. He's gonna swing around and gonna try. He's thinking about, hey, can I get around, tackle the ball, and then what else can we do here? So here's Shark throwing some attacks, doing some dodges, trying to figure out, okay, what can he do? Can he actually get to that ball with Bolt there on 4-2? And it doesn't happen. He feats. So I've got Bolt and the ball, and I can't move. So I come up with this play. I pass the ball to Alloy with Bolt. Alloy's going to use that momentum to slide forward. Then I'm going to use my I'm open to call the ball back. That's going to give me 1 net momentum. And then I'm going to do what the only thing you really can do when you can't move is I'm going to pass that ball back to Alloy. And Alloy is going to go ahead and take a snapshot. So 3 dice needing a pair of 4s. So it's a risky play, but you don't have a choice. Like when you're in feat turn, Shark has got you all locked down like that. You can put points on the board, do it. And I end up getting that snapshot. I mean, thank you, dice, for once for coming up big for me. And that puts me up 4-0. Aaron's going to throw this ball back with the intent of scoring an immediate revenge goal because he's got me locked up right now. But he, you know, the time this turn is ticking away. He needs to optimize his activations here and try to get 2 goals this turn. He gets the ball over to Siren. Siren cannot get to goal threat without walking into Hearth's melee range, and it's going to prove to be fatal here because he's going to be at -1 die. I believe he tries to bonus time. He still misses the goal, and it's just heartbreaking. That ball is going to sit there right on the goal, and just like that, the chances of 2 goals this turn have dramatically decreased for the fish. But hey, I'm not out of the woods yet. I can't move. I mean, literally, I measured off with Hearth, and I can't even get there with Hearth. So I'm going to abandon that real quick. I'm going to pull Ferrite at the very top of the screen. She's going to dodge around. She's going to throw an attack and get another dodge. And then she's basically just going to pull Iron around before Jack can push us all out of bounds. That still leaves Ferris vulnerable there at the top of the screen. So I'm a little bit worried about that, but hey, it looks like I was able to save most of those guys. Here comes Jack, speaking of which. He's going to line himself up, and he's going to, I believe he does an attack. He causes a single push to Ferris. Now, if he did get a good push on Ferris, he could have pushed her out of bounds. There's the feet there. You can see all those pieces just sweeping off the top of the screen there. Very terrifying moment. But hey, it's good to do it anyways because he's keeping the pressure on me. I have to try to save all those models. Meanwhile, Bolt gets, I mean, even Alloy gets pushed down on the bottom of the screen. And that's actually good for me because Alloy is in snapshot range. He's not in tap-in range, but he's in snapshot range. So now I'm just doing a couple of attacks with Ferris because I can. There's really not much else I can do here. Grayscales is going to come around, and he is going to bang in that first goal for the fish. Nice, easy, quick tap in there. So we're tied at 4-all. I throw the ball back towards Hearth. And there we go. Hearth can go pick up that ball, but guess what? I didn't put any influence on her. So despite Alloy being right there, like, I could pass the ball to Alloy, who hasn't even gone yet, and he could score a goal. I don't have the influence, so I'm just parked there midfield with the ball, unfortunately. So that's a bit scary. And guess what? I think we have another player Yeah, Sakana, oh sorry, Salt is going to move up there, force a crowd out on Ferris. And just do another little dodge there. Just trying to get that crowd out lined up. I'm going to go with Alloy. Alloy is going to just basically acrobatic to Sakana and do nothing because he can't do anything else. Sakana's just going to go ahead and leave combat with Alloy. He'll take a damage, but he gets his charge off on Ferris. And that's going to land him momentous, non-momentous double push, double dodge. So he's going to continue to threaten sending Ferris right off the sidelines. Pretty cool move. I guess he figures, you know, that's the move to do right now since he can't quite get at Hearth and the ball just yet. So now we're playing for the next turn. And I'm going to lose activation order here. But now he has an interesting choice. He can either go for the ball and score, or he can guaranteed push Ferrite off the sideline. And what he decides to do is actually, I think it's the smarter move. You know, so what if Ferris goes off the board? It's 2 points, and I have Hearth with the ball and a momentum because I'm going second, and he's got to stop that, or I'm going to put my second goal up right now. So what he does is he's going to go ahead and go with the main man, Shark. He's going to load up Shark. Shark is going to attack Iron a couple of times, gain a bunch of dodges and momentum there. Then he's going to work his way over to Hearth. So the idea is with Grayscales being right there at tap-in range, he can just basically gain some momentum, slide over to Hearth, tackle the ball, slide out, and kick a snapshot. So that's what he's going to attempt to do. And it's not a bad plan. I mean, why not? If you can score, go ahead and score. So there he goes. He's out of combat up top. He's going to come down here. We're just trying to figure out the Shark's exact path down to where he doesn't end up engaged. And he's just going to keep racking up some dodges there. I think he spends a little too much time up top. I personally would have probably gone for a couple of push dodges, and maybe if you're going to spend that much time up there, try walking one of the guys off the sideline. So instead he comes down with his last bit of influence, tackles the ball from Hearth. I declare a counter. So he's going to get the tackle. I'm going to go ahead and counter. I counter and I get momentous knockdown, or just knockdown in this case. Now this gets a little scary. We scatter the ball. Sure enough, the ball is going to just scatter right in front of Hearth. He's going to go ahead and clear conditions there. Get himself back off the ground. And he's going to slide over to the ball using a dodge. Then he's going to pass. Looks like I believe he's looking to pass to, he was looking to pass to Salt, but it's better to just go for Grayscales. Better to dodge up, get to passing range with Grayscales, and snapshot that in. And that's what he ends up doing. So nice play by the Fish to get them up 8-4 right now. So things are looking scary for me. I've got to throw the ball in. Good thing it's not V-turn though, so we've already survived that. Now, here's where a little bit of experience pays off. Because I could throw that ball down there, and then I would most likely lose that ball to Siren and Grayscales. So it's not a great idea. let's throw the ball up where there are fewer players that have influence, and I've got a bunch of my players up there. So I'm going to throw the ball up that way. And that accomplishes two things. One, that gives me control of the ball. Two, that gets Ferrite off the sidelines. Right? So Ferrite's going to go ahead and just snap that ball. And Ferrite is, she's going to walk right into the teeth of the fish defense there with Salt, Sakana, and Jack. I'm trying to figure out, hey, should I walk around? No. No, the fastest way to do this, just get in the middle of those boys. So that's what I do. I walk her in there. There we go. Just marking my spot. Then I'm going to call Iron over. Because I got to get him off the sidelines too. So here comes Iron. Ferret has the ball, by the way, not Iron. I don't know why I left that marker there. I'm then going to acrobatic, get to attack range of Sakana. I'll do an attack on Sakana. Actually, I think I end up doing the attack on Jack instead. Because I'm still in melee with both. I figured Jack is 3-1. If I'm going to take a crowd out, I can hit a couple of threes. That's all I really need to do. So I hit a couple threes. I get a double dodge. I'm going to go ahead and pass to Alloy. So I can't actually score with Ferrite right now, but I think that would be a huge mistake because then the ball would just go immediately back to the fish and they'd score and finish the game. So instead I pass to Alloy and slide him up and out of range of the active fish. So once again, just extending the field, trying to buy myself a more favorable situation, and that's going to be my strategy for the rest of this turn, is really just use whatever influence I have left to continue to gain momentum and score that goal at the end of this turn, as opposed to giving the fish a chance to score this turn. Right? So Jack's going to come in. He's going to take a swing at Ferrite and then try to heroic her off the board. So he gets a 1-inch push on Ferrite. If he got a 2-inch push on her, she's gone. But unfortunately, it's not, for him, it's not good enough to get her off the board. But once again, he's continuing to threaten them off the sidelines. And he's gaining momentum while he's doing it. Meanwhile, I feat with Hearth, 3-inch melee, 3 influence on her, and 1 by 1. Attack Siren, momentous knockdown. Attack Grayscales, momentous knockdown. And then attack Shark, you guessed it, momentous knockdown. So I have half of the fish players knocked down right now with Hearth, which is amazing, and 3 momentum. So here's the old lady coming through in the clutch right there. Really, really cool. Aaron's going to get up Siren, call over Hearth, do a couple of attacks. I personally wouldn't have called her over. I would have just, gone for as many swings as possible and rack up momentum. We don't care about damage anymore. Neither one of these teams is really built for beating people up. So this is all about momentum the rest of this turn. I go ahead and throw Bolt in there on Shark. I do a free Shoomerang on Shark's head, doing 2 damage to him, and then knocking Sakana down because that play is hilarious. And every time you have Bolt on the field, you should be looking to Shoomerang. It's a hilarious play. You should do it. I throw a couple of attacks onto Shark, doing a couple of momentous damage to him. Yeah. I mean, that's the goal, man. And that's what we're trying to do. Just keep throwing those momentum pieces down and hold that ball to the very end of the turn. And I think Aaron, at this point, he kind of understands my plan. So he's got to play keep up. So he's doing the same thing. He's going to attack my models, and he's also going to rack up some momentum doing this. He gets grayscales up. He's going to momentous where'd he go? Over to, it looks like Bolt. Throwing some attacks on Bolt. And he's going to take some more momentum there. So now it's just a race. We're just how much of that can we pile on? I think, unfortunately for Aaron, by the time he realizes that that's the plan, I have more influence on the board than he does. So here we go. I'm moving Ferris around now. Ferris is going to pull herself off the sideline. She's going to throw a couple of attacks on Sakana, who I believe is knocked down at this point because lol. And I'm just going to score a couple more momentum doing that. So just a lot of push, dodge going on. Really funny. We're in the middle of a shootout, and nobody cares to do damage to each other. I'm going to throw Iron into Shark here. Same thing. Couple of attacks there. And I really don't even care what the results are. I think I end up doing a couple of momentous damage to Shark, and I think a dodge or a push, something. Totally forget. But it really does not matter. And that's what you try to explain to new fish players. Like, stop. Don't look at the damage. Look at the momentum. If you're playing a momentum race, take your dodges. Dodges are phenomenal. Like, don't think of an attack like you have to beat people up with it. Just do what you got to do. I kick the goal in there, tap in with Alloy to end the turn. Ball gets thrown in, and it's sitting there midfield. I play for turn, and I end up winning turn, and so now it's down to Ferris. Ferris has got to kick this goal because it's tied 8-8 right now. And if I get this with Ferris, that's going to be game. So my strategy towards the end of turn 3 was to win the momentum race, which I did, and then play the card. Now it just comes down to execution. And with Ferris at the helm, you know, I'm looking pretty good. 4-8 kick, acrobatic, low momentous dodges. So great striker play from Ferrite here. So here we go. This is for all the marbles here. I throw an attack on Sakana. He's going to counter. I get exactly what I need, though. Momentous push dodge. Right? So I'm going to push him back into Ferris. I'm going to push myself out. We're not going to be in melee anymore. I'm going to sprint towards the ball, and then use the rest of my sprint to get towards the goal. And then acrobatic, get myself within tap in. And let's throw this in and call it a day. So that's going to do it for this video. Great play by the fish. Really fun game. Thanks everyone for watching, and we'll catch you on the next one.